Hey guys, good morning, welcome back to my garden. So as you can see, it is winter time here and the soil is frozen, so there is not much to do in the garden. And I realized I have never done a winter garden tour before, so I wanted to take you for a walk in the garden. Let's start with this beautiful cedar next to me, the one I planted in February 2024, so the beginning of last season. It had some time already to get used to the climate of the garden, but it is a species native to the Himalayas, where the climate is milder than here. I know this species does not like the wind, and I know my garden is constantly windy. This is why I hesitated so many years to buy the cedar, but I bought frost fabric for when the real winter comes, and I hope for the best. This is one of my favorite trees in the garden, and it was already pretty tall when I planted it, so I really hope it survives the winter with all the freezing cold winds. It is a really amazing winter interest plant with a beautiful growth form and the bouquets of leaves on the branches. I can't get enough of these frosty branches, you guys, they look really amazing. When I woke up today and saw all the frost outside, the cedar was the first plant I checked and it looks amazing. Next to the cedar, there is the Tamarix. It looks really pretty with the eyes on the branches. It is such a sturdy plant, I had to move it last year and it came back beautiful after that. This one has a long interest time, it starts to grow very early in the spring and flowers 2 or 3 times throughout the season. It holds onto its leaves until late fall or early winter. And if there is ice and snow, the Tamarix looks really great during the cold season too. Even though it is not an evergreen plant or doesn't have colorful branches or berries, it adds lots of winter interest to the garden. It is such a foggy day, you guys. So the Boxwood hedge ends here under the Tamarix. Look at these leaves, you guys. All the leaves have eyes on the edges. It gives them a variegated look. It is a great winter interest. I really love this new flower bed. I made lots of progress this year. The hedge starts forming and the plants are growing. Look at this ice, you guys. It looks like the boxwoods are wearing diamonds this winter. Also, you can see the planter in the background. This is the newest addition to the garden. I just got it for Christmas from my family. It is so nice to hear at Christmas. For your gift, we need to go outside. That usually means I have the surprise for the garden. I'm really excited about this planter. I need to think of a good place to put it, but it is heavy. I have no chance to move it by myself, especially when it will be planted. The other planters are very heavy too, but this one is even bigger and heavier. So after this tour, I will walk around the garden to figure out where to put it. Finally, we have a few minutes of sunshine. This is a jasmine I planted 2 years ago and it looks beautiful with the icy frosting on it. These are the white roses, they still have a few frozen flowers left on them. So this is the other side of the new flower bed, the cedar in the back. And there's Onyx enjoying a treat. This is so peaceful, you guys. This is one of my favorite places to drink my coffee in the morning. This is one of the white climbing roses and the frozen trellis. So these are the heucheras I planted next to the pond, and these are the ponytail grasses I started from seed in 2022. These offer a year-round interest, you guys. They have a nice texture and they look amazing during the winter, so it is worth planting them. They are also extremely easy to grow, they can tolerate dry and compact soil, full sun, and honestly they don't require any special care. I did nothing to them since I planted them and they just grow and look amazing. There is only one problem with them, and honestly it is one I created for myself because I didn't know that they drop a crazy amount of seeds and seed heads, and of course like 2 billion of them landed in the pond, so make a note on that before planting these in the garden. Here next to the pond we have the forest Pansy redbud tree. It is such a beauty with flowers early in the spring and heart-shaped dark red leaves that turn to green gradually as they mature. I really like the shape of the branches, it adds an interesting texture to the winter garden. So we are going towards the flower beds behind the cottage. Here's a planter I forgot to empty. Here we have a beautiful star magnolia covered in ice, beautiful. There's a salvia down there, aronia, a hawthorn in the back. No berries on these anymore, I see the birds already cleaned them up. There's a blacklist elderberry and my pride, the rosemary. People keep telling me that rosemary dies in their yards during the winter, or at least dies back pretty hard in zone 6. I think this is the perfect spot for it. It is behind the cottage and also close to the bushes, so it is a zone protected from wind. Maybe that's it, but my rosemary is green and beautiful even during the winter. I think I even saw flowers on it in November, so I'm really thankful for it. So this is the eastern flower bed with the heucheras, armerias and roses, and also the corkscrew willow in the back. These are the pink fairy roses and still have frozen flowers and buds. So this is the corkscrew willow. I planted this in 2021. It put on a lot of growth since then. This plant is great for winter interest thanks to the curly branches. These are often used in flower arrangements, but I prefer my plants in the garden. This will be a pretty large tree and will take over this corner of the garden in a few years, and I can't wait. I really love how the branches look like with the frosty coat on. It creates a strong contrast. I still water this one manually because I don't have a drip system set up in this part of the garden yet, and willows love their water. So from this angle, behind the willow, you can see the eastern flower bed, the rosemary, and the rest is covered by fog. Okay, so now we are in front of the cottage. This is the beautiful rock flower bed I started in 2021. It looks amazing with the frosty trees in the background. These are the butterfly bushes still having leaves on. They usually do until the end of winter, sometimes they still have leaves in the spring when I cut them back. This is the trellis, the cedar in the back, and the second part of the rock flower bed. Towards the back of the garden I have a pussy willow. This one was here before I was. It grew here naturally, so I let it grow. The only thing I did to it was pruning it once. When I was here last time, when I decorated the Christmas trees, I noticed it already had buds. It is one of the earliest to flower, so it was fooled by the sunny Christmas days. This is a wild rose with beautiful rose hips next to the Leyland Cypress Hedge. These were planted in the fall of 2022. I made a few videos on them. I am still working on the soil for them as they require slightly acidic soil and I have alkaline soil in the garden, so they tend to turn yellow at the beginning of the season. I read that adding salt powder to the soil is the best solution. It will turn the soil slowly to slightly acidic in a natural way. I saw on the internet that there are people recommending vinegar solutions for fast effects, but this is a horrible advice. Please don't do that. Vinegar will kill all your plants. Coffee grounds are also recommended online, but there is no proof whatsoever that it helps with this. So there are lots of advice and ideas online, but make sure to do your research before applying any home remedies to your plants. Some of them can seriously harm your garden. This tour is so long already, you guys, but I just can't get enough of these frosty plants. If you are still watching, thank you, you are amazing. I leave a few more pictures and videos for you to watch of the landscape at the end of this video. Thank you again for watching, happy gardening, and see you in the next one. Bye!